Such a powerful move.
She's so crazy. Like, why did she do this?
I love it. I love it so much.
What an incredible...
Right?
What a legend and icon. What a moment.
Like, I can't tell if she's just fucking with all of us or if it's just her, but either way, a genius. Yeah, number one.
She wins.
The level of production value, right? And then
yes!
I don't know why we got this cheese. What?
Is this a new thing or is this old?
It came out like, I think last...
Hello?
Josh?
Yeah?
I think you all are stopping because you accidentally stepped on each other, and now neither of you are refusing to speak.
I'm also really good about just holding still. And...
No, Josh,
no! Yeah, I think the video came out like last week or something like that. But I don't know if it's going to be like a weekly series or what. She made it sound like it was going to be weekly, and I will subscribe, absolutely. Just to watch her. And I hope every episode is her being mad that she didn't get the correct ingredient.
Did Rihanna ever do another beauty video?
Ooh, I don't know. But that first one she did was so good.
That first one elevated her into, like, God tier. Like, oh, she was already God tier, but it was like, no, but, like, actually. Like,
yeah.
God, God. Yeah,
I like her favorite is called the Navy.
Oh.
Because now, whenever I think about the Navy, I only think of Rihanna's team.
Hell yeah.
That's fair.
That's all I got. I'm like, oh yeah, the Navy's here?
Is it the good Navy or the bad Navy? Yeah, going back to vegetables, I grew my own broccoli this year, and I will never go back. It's so good when it comes from the dirt in your backyard.
Oh, everything. Yeah, we have tomato and jalapeno plants.
Ooh.
And the tomatoes are just... It's just a different vegetable. It's not even...
Yeah.
Like, it should just... One of the two, either the ones at the store or the ones you grow yourself, should not be allowed to call themselves a tomato because they're just two completely different entities.
Yeah. Like, I made Ben eat one of the homegrown tomatoes that we had because before he was just like, oh, tomato has no flavor. Like, I can bite into a tomato and I don't know what it tastes like. And I was like, shut your mouth, number one. Number two, have some of this tomato.
Even
and he's like,
shitty tomatoes have flavor.
Number one, how dare you? Number two.
I think you just got like the garbage, like watery, grainy ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those. That's a shame. That's a goddamn shame.
I recommend if you're doing store-bought. On the vine, Campari tomatoes have decent.
Ooh, I want to grow some aromas so I can make my own sauce.
Oh, there you go.
Some Sunday gravy.
Yes. Oh, I'd love to see it happen to me.
When I was a youth, we had a little bit of a vegetable garden, and my mom got terrified because we were growing a pumpkin, and then one of the vines was like creeping towards the house, towards like me and my sister's bedroom, and like climbing up. And my mom was like, "Nope," and like killed it.
Hello, viewers. Side note: we're not playing D&D anymore. We're just talking about vegetables you can grow at home.
Yeah. Welcome to Permaculture Cast.
Yeah. Sound off in the goddamn chat about what your favorite vegetable is and what you love to.
The Ag Sci Cast, what's up?
Grow, what you like to bite, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so good to see Sir Newt, as always, king of the chat, I think is what we like to call you.
Hell yeah.
We do say that.
Yes, drop the die, what's up, JB? Belle Maria, so good to see you. Orange Sakana, always good to see you. I was just saying that Jennifer made cauliflower soup, and cauliflower's having a moment. Human filth, look at those beautiful eyes in chat right now. Beautiful. Love to see it. So let's get started because Justin has the flu, so he had business meeting last week and got the flu this week. I kind of am nervous that he's working too hard. You know how if you work really hard, you just eventually get sick. And from hearing all the cool things he's doing, that might be a possibility.
My controversial opinion is it's worth it, and he should keep working himself too hard. Because I got an advanced copy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The first issue of Dryad, and it's fucking gorgeous.
That's awesome.
Woo, fuck yeah.
So
it is weird when you're friends with such cool.
For your art.
It's weird when you're friends with good creators. So it's just like I don't give a shit if your children don't know what you look like. Pat, keep writing, you son of a beat.
Oh my god.
Yes. Okay. What am I looking for? I need my dice. Do I have roll 20 up? I do. Okay. Let me add the thing.
Let me see that. I like your storyboard device back there, Pat.
Oh yeah, you love that.
Oh, cool.
No,
Is it?
It's for my kids. It's
okay.
It's a little drawing easel for the kid.
I was very intrigued. I was like, damn. I need to see
The
how
other side's a
Cloak did it.
chalkboard. The other side was a chalkboard, and when we first started this, I did toy for 5 minutes. I toyed around with the idea of having a weekly gag where I look up some kind of like pun-based D&D joke and write it on there in the background.
You should do it.
And then
Bob's Burgers
That's
it.
funny.
Yeah,
Yes!
and I'm like, oh, that just seems like a lot of work.
That would be a lot of work. I'm always because Bob's Burgers has
Oh,
at least
the food,
3 puns things.
I'm
Every
blown
episode.
away by how many.
Yeah, if not more, because they sometimes have multiple burgers in the background. And you can't always see all of them, but they have the store next door on a sale, and then the exterminator. And the exterminator is only on screen for like a second, and but every single time it's different. And then the burger, it's amazing.
There has to be like a wiki that compiles all the little gags.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, it's gotta be right. Yeah, it's like because remember I used to look up all the Simpsons ones. But
Oh, hell yeah.
But I remember, I think I had a book of all the Simpsons episodes. Oh, that book was ruled. And it had like all the chalkboard gags and stuff like that. But
Hell yeah.
greetings, adventurers, and welcome to another exciting installment of the Happy Hell Hour. I'm your Happy Hell Dungeon Master, Tim Lanning, and joining me, as always, is Pat Edwards,
Hi, all my buddies.
Josh Bigeman,
Yo, what up?
Kim Stonick,
Hey, I'm still back. I'm not going anywhere.
What
Can't
up?
kill me.
and Justin now has the flu. He did a meeting so hard that he got the flu. So send your healing vibes at him, especially because this week would have had a lot of juicy Tico moments. But I messaged him and be like, just real quick, what would you do in this situation? I was 99% sure, but wanted to make sure. How are you three doing? Let me start a conversation piece to kind of flavor it. Does Kim have seniority over Josh because she was gone for a little bit? She was never removed from the roster. How are you doing with that in mind? Let's hear it.
No.
Are you trying to pit us against each other, Tim?
Yeah. I think Josh has seniority because I'm pretty sure he's done more episodes than I have. I think that's the thing.
Is that true? I don't think that's
I feel like it is.
I don't think so. He's like this is like your 6th,
like-
maybe?
You should do like 10 or a dozen or something.
you-
Or... Kim? No, Kim. Didn't you do like the first 10 or something?
I've done all.
I have a memory like a sieve.
I can't count. I'm gay. I can't count.
I'm loading up our YouTube to find out. Now, you know what? Let's just say you're all equal in my heart. But is everyone doing good?
Yeah, we're
doing great, Tim. Thanks for
joining
asking.
hands.
I'm smelling bad, doing how I normally do.
Since we're about to get into hell, I want to pit you against each other. You know, it's like, oh, here's a piece of bread. Will two swords kill Gnash?
Over bread.
Don't do that. Yeah.
I'll share the bread.
Is the bread shaped like a sword?
Yes.
Oh.
I want to see fan art of all the characters, like the dudes in Pokemon Sword and Shield with a sword and shield hair. So two swords has sword hair.
I swear to God, if anyone does anything with two swords that has to do with a shield-based motif, you're dead to me.
It kind of made me laugh when you were talking about maybe going a little more defensive-y, and I was like, oh, maybe two swords will take a shield, because the whole thing is I knew the shield of the Hidden Lord was coming up, and I wanted one of you to use it, and it was like, all right, it's fine if one of you just straps it on your back and uses it to like shoot fireballs and scare people, but
I mean, maybe Karloff can take the shield and like attach a hilt to it so I can hold it like a handle, like a sword, and smack people with it, and then he. Sword shield.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sharpen the edges to a razor edge.
Go full
Yeah.
Captain America.
I feel
Yeah.
like the Shield of the Hidden Lord would be really hard to sharpen on the side. You just try, but it would like break your whetstone.
Whetstone.
Whetstone. Okay, let's get into it. Oh, I should probably bring up my notes. Not that I need them, but you know. You are, after several days' ride on your cart, you've are now on the, I believe it's called the Path of the Lion or something like that, the Lion's Way. And you eventually find yourself in front of a gorgeous castle-looking thing. At the end of the path, or whatever, it's on screen for Twitch now, what it looks like. There's beautiful spires, there's like towers that have ships on them, there's griffins flying overhead, there's strange smokes coming out of chimneys, all sorts of strange things like that. And you get up to the... your retinue kind of gets up to the gate. There are, let me see if there's anything specific. It's the Way of the Lion. That's very important to you. You love to hear it.
I don't see no lions. Keeping my eyes peeled though.
You do see what looks like flying lions with bird faces.
I know what those are.
So it's mid-afternoon. The rain has finally broken. The afternoon shines through the clouds to illuminate the gray walls and pale spires of a time-worn fortress that stands majestically atop a rocky promontory overlooking the sea. The trail leads straight to it. At the gatehouse, you're greeted by 3 monks in purple robes, a human, a shield dwarf, and a sun elf. Around their necks hang holy symbols of Denir, god of writing, whose symbol is a lit candle above an eye. "Welcome to Candlekeep," says the elf in common. "A gift is required for those seeking admittance. You must donate a book or scroll that isn't already in the library's archives. Please present your gift for inspection."
Oh,
We got some deer jerky and cheese, and I got these rocks that I took from the ground in Baldur's Gate.
I'm gonna move Fisky closer to the guys because he's got the scroll.
Who?
The Fisky guy, Fauster. That's his name.
Ballister.
Fisk. I like Fisky. Fisk says, "Hello, good priest of Denir. I have this book. It's a recipe book from Kalimshan. I'm sure this would be sufficient." And the priest take the book, look at it, flips it over, and is like, "This would be enough. Right this way, please." They open the gates before you, and in front of you is a courtyard, but Candlekeep is sort of like a scrunched together fortress of towers and things like that. So it opens into some grounds with what looks to be a tavern that you see a little sign above it called the Hearth. And Fallister says, "If you're weary, we could... well, I think it might be best to meet with my mistress as fast as possible. But of course, if you're weary, we should probably drop off the cart. And, yes, what is it that you want to do? Candlekeep is a place of many interesting things."
I'm trying to get my swords all churched up.
Yes.
that sounds cool. I might want to go with the purple guys. They have books, and I like books. And if there's spells, I can look at their spells and I can memorize them.
Perfect. Well, let me take you to Mr. Savaka's now, and she'll get you set up, and from there you can get a place to freshen up from the road, maybe get some food and a drink, and peruse the many fine volumes.
I do like that.
Yeah. Thanks, guy.
Since you have Fisk with you, basically you don't have to wander the rooms and sort of streets, so to speak, of the fortress, and he leads you down a way to a circular tower chamber that is punctuated by arched windows that are currently shuttered. Bookcases filled with eldritch volumes stand between the windows, while tables are crowded with specimen jars, alchemical equipment, and other clutter. Engraved into the floor of a chamber is a large 9-pointed star. A middle-aged tiefling dressed in wizardly robes stands by one of the windows, caught in a fugue of intense contemplation. Perched on the corner of a table nearby is a spindly little demon with warty green skin, buggy eyes, and thin black horns, and a whip-like tail. "I can't tell you how pleased I am to see you," says the tiefling. "What have you brought me?" And she turns around. Silvira Silvakas is a tiefling, a middle-aged tiefling woman. Great looking robes on, and she has a little grubby little demon pal. And she turns for you, like, "What can I do for you?"
Hi. Are you my cousin? Well, never mind. But I was here to look at your books, and I like your little guy. Do you know where I could also find a guy? But also, I just have a lot of questions. I've never really been.
I'm no guy!
Really...
Screams the demon. "Sorry, this is Jezebel, my quasi familiar."
Jezebel.
Wait, don't we have a thing, like a box?
You
like
have a box. Yeah, the whole reason you're here is the Infernal Puzzle Box.
Oh, I forgot. Am I with them?
Yeah, you're all together.
Yeah, we're all
okay.
together.
Yeah, man.
Shit, I don't want to metagame. I wouldn't think of it yet. So what's your deal?
You can see Fisk sort of tense up a little bit, and she giggles slightly, like, "I'm an expert of all things infernal, I guess you could say. I specialize in knowledge in the outer planes, so yes."
Like demons and devils and such?
Demons and devils and such is a perfect way of describing it.
Nice.
Know the name Zariel ring a bell?
It certainly does. It's been a topic of interest that I've had on my mind for quite some time.
Me too.
Tell me, what brings you here? Fisk, it seems like you've brought them here for a reason. Like, oh, these friends here have quite the story to tell you, and they have come with a gift, but that is theirs to tell.
I wrote it all down. Right.
Oh, fuck! 2 swords, I'm sorry!
It's okay. So Newt I forgot to, and then Newt said something, and I was like, "We can do it. I can double up next time."
No, actually, I meant to do this. See, we started. You know when you watch a fucking TV show and there's a, it's like a cold open. You're like, "Where's the thing?" And then that's what I did. I meant to do this. And,
yeah.
And now,
Hell yeah!
Now,
Totally.
Calculated.
All right. What did we do last week?
Big ass brain Tim over here.
I mean, okay, so she says, yeah, I mean, Fallister said we had a story that, yeah, I've written all of it down in here, and, like, it's really long, but you know what I can
Start
do is
from the
I
beginning.
can...
Just kidding.
So, we woke up on... No, wait, wrong one. I can tell you what's happened to us since we left Baldur's Gate. That's a whole other thing. Maybe we should get some beers and talk about.
Yeah. I mean, how about this? 2 swords and all of you together, including Tico and Rhea, explain what happens, but we cut back in just to what happened last session.
So it's we tell her the whole story,
Yes.
and then we get to us leaving Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
And then I say here again, I say, "Dear Diary, I always like to be polite. How are you?" "Me? I'm great."
Woo!
Lots happened. First, it's time to leave Baldur's Gate, finally. So we all met up at the Basilisk Gate, and Saren was there to see us off. And she introduced us to a new friend. Karloff and her metal bear, named Bear. She's coming with us. Neat. First, we had to stop at Little Kalisham. We got some food and some grub and some supplies. And then we had to go across through the Worms Crossing. I didn't see no worms, but we did get some real nifty souvenirs like glasses and novelty T-shirts and such. As we was walking along one road, we met a farmer who wasn't a farmer. They turned into a devil, and we had a scrap against them and some of their bad guy helpers. Of course, we killed them dead, but the devil got away. Gnash and Karloff did so good in the fight diary. I'm so proud of them. Tico kept to himself. I don't think he's feeling so good. He still does not seem to be feeling so good. Poor little feller. Then we met another farmer who was actually a farmer, and we bought all the cheese and all the milk. Gnash hunted a deer, and Karloff made it into jerky. And I gotta go. It looks like we're coming up on that Candlekeep place, and now we're here.
Tight.
Okay. Did your voice just change?
No, guys, guess what? We were chatting, me and Michael tomorrow, and we're figuring out if we were going to do a giveaway for this stream or for what does that say?
Newt was asking if it says, and yes, it says Two Swords McTavish.
That's amazing. We are giving away a code for Sirenscape. If you haven't used Sirenscape before, it is a rad tool that lets you add music and sounds and stuff like that to your games. We're going to start using it hopefully next week, cool. But we just got a code. So in chat, do pound giveaway to be entered in, and you get a Super Siren sub for 2 months when you sign up for a completely free account, but it's a super rad tool. And we use it on the Greatest Adventures podcast all the time. That's where all of the sound effects that David uses come from. So yeah, just use hashtag giveaway. And hopefully next week or in the coming weeks, we'll have little fun behind the scenes stuff. But I need to figure out how to do that when they're all not in the same room. So I'll leave that up the entire stream. And then at the end of the stream, I'll pull it and then give you the code. Blah, blah, blah.
I like it.
She looks at you and says, "Quite the journey you've had. What with the cultists of the Dead Three and Elturel being disappeared, seems like you were able to get yourself all mixed up with things and trying to overthrow Patriar in the middle of it. All said is quite a foolish proposition, but it shows that you have guts, shows that you have heart. Now, let me see this puzzle box then."
Oh, I guess I would have said we would have talked about that during the story relay.
I also like the idea of you saying "Dear Diary" like every
time.
Two Swords poetry reading, basically.
Yeah, just like every time.
Yeah, so I'll reach in the bag of holding. I'm just assuming everything's in the bag of holding.
Sure.
Two Swords is just going to be keeping the put. I want you to picture in the background anything that's not stealing, anything that would just be like for the taking. He's going to be just every 5 minutes picking something up and throwing it in.
Gotcha.
There. So, and
whoa!
He will reach.
I do have cotton swabs in there.
Anyone need a treat? So
he pulls out and has this thing?
And as soon as you pull it out, she snatches it out of your hand greedily.
That is rude. Don't do that again, please.
But she kind of like huddles over it and starts like muttering. Only Tico probably understands her as she's speaking of it. And she looks at it and she turns it over and she goes, This is remarkable. This is remarkable. I've been suspicious of the High Overseer of Elturel, may he rest in hell, for a long time, but no one wanted to hear my concerns, because Krieg was widely regarded as a hero who saved the city from an undead scourge, giving rise to the holy nation of Elturgard. Hailed as a savior, Thavius made all citizens of Elturel swear an oath called the Creed Resolute. And she looks at Rhea and kind of lowers her voice, which binds them to defend the nation of Elturgard. I met him years ago, and my instincts told me he was a charlatan. Afterward, I grew to suspect that he had cut a deal with one of the more powerful devils, using the Creed Resolute to bind all Elturel to his dark deal. I wish to prove my theory, and I believe the evidence is locked inside this box. Gnash, do you think your folks, because you're technically from Elturgard, which is the, bigger area of so Elturel's the city.
Yeah.
Elturgard is a bigger area. That being said, it sounds like you guys are kind of, a mixture of a combination of the two. Do you think your folks would be a part of Elturgard?
That is a good question.
Because it's like on the map you're within the bubble, but
For sure.
it sounds like you guys are sort of, you do your own thing, but also maybe it doesn't really matter.
We're probably I would almost imagine we're soft apart. We're they're probably cool because we talk, we're friendly, we do things back and forth and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're probably I don't know what they're doing over there. They can just have that, and we'll just
So
we'll take their grape jelly.
Yeah. So every citizen of Elturel swears the Creed Resolute to defend Elturgard, but probably not everyone literally within Elturgard has to, because the bureaucracy that would take.
Right. Think about all those documents you got to sign, and then you got to catch us when we're not eating because damn.
So she
and
takes.
You got to find us. Damn.
Find you to make you sign papers to.
Then we got to read stuff. Come on.
No, thank you. There's a physical giveaway that I've been meaning to mail for many months, and I'm gonna get in trouble. But going to the post office.
Right. Exactly.
The post office near us sucks, which is a shame. So it's
this would be a really long road to walk on to introduce a new Stamps.com sponsorship.
Anyways,
I fucking was thinking for a hot
Here we
second.
go.
It's all right, we did not get our coffee, but here we are. Stamps.com. Whenever I need to mail a package to hell.
Stamps.com will go fucking anywhere. Does it exist? Maybe. They'll go there.
They'll go there.
So she looks at the box, and she places it down on her workbench on sort of a area that, let's just say, it looks like the Skyrim enchanting table for flavor. And then she mutters a few words and starts glowing a little bit. And then she looks over at Tico. Says, "You have Gargouth's shield. And that's concerning to me. I chatted with Justin previously, so I know what he would do. Basically, her and Tico have a small back and forth. And she says, that shield is a symbol of good's triumph over evil. Gazing at such beauty, one can easily overlook the terrible force bound within it. Gargouth is, I believe, its name. Though it calls itself the Hidden Lord, it was a pit fiend sent by Asmodeus to corrupt mortals on the material plane, and there it amassed such a following as to rival the gods. In that way, Gargouth became a sort of demigod, and having worshippers increased its power exponentially. My, how the mighty have fallen. This shield has the power to corrupt everything around it. The hewn family of Baldur's Gate has kept it for years now. Doubtless they'll want it back, but this shield should not be taken to any place where thousands of mortals resides. It is to be locked away in an extra-dimensional space away from corruptible souls. You see Tico have a slight internal battle. You also hear inside each of your own voices in the same raspy tones, "Fine, that's true, but take me to the 9 hells, and I swear to serve you faithfully, as both a guide and as an advisor. There's no mortal souls in Avernus. So you need help down there, and sometimes having a fiend is better than having a celestial, anyways. Silvira and Tico stare each other down for a moment, and Tico tells her that he's not giving up the shield. And pretty quickly, Silvira is like, "That's fine. As long as it's getting out of the prime material plane, that's fine with me." She almost looks relieved after she says it. But Tico kind of is a little more protective of the shield. She turns to the little puzzle box after the runes on her little table glow a different set of colors. And she says, she grabs a little vial off one of her shelves, and she pours a little bit of this black liquid on the box. And the box is kind of like a maze. It's, it is an Infernal Puzzle Box, but like think about like intricate maze designs on it.
Cool.
And she pours the black liquid on one of the tracks.
I wish Pesha was here.
I know, right? This would have been the best. Hot older lady with fucking with puzzles.
Shit!
Oh man.
Oh damn!
Pissed.
Damn. What that black liquid smell like?
It's ichor. And
I gag.
yeah, it's kind of like one of those old like shitty toys you'd get. Like the ones
You gotta fill it out.
It's the same idea of like the water puzzle where you'd squirt it and try to get the rings on it. Then you also had the ones where you had like the metal ball and you kind of make it move and go down the hole. She's doing that, but going through like turning it like a Rubik's Cube at the same time. The maze-like patterns start to glow, and the box's horn inlays pop loose and break apart. That's the Infernal Puzzle Box image that I showed you a little bit ago, and I'll re-show it to you now so you can see it. So this is more or less what's happening as she's, pulling forth various infernal and arcane magics to open it, as her quasit familiar Jezebel is like, next to it.
Jezebel. That name.
I know. It's so good when like D&D is like, this is the Bible section. It's like all these things are important to the devils because of the Bible. The Bible's real, and it's one of the other planar worlds. Inside the box is a stack of 9 chain-linked plates, each 3 inches on a side, cast in dark iron and stamped with infernal runes. She starts to read aloud. "Be it known to all that I, Thavius Krieg, High Overseer of Elturel, have sworn to my master, Zariel, Lord of Avernus, to keep the agreements contained in this oath. I hereby submit to Zariel in all matters for all time. I will place her above all creatures, living and dead. I will obey her all my days and beyond with fear and servility. I recognize the dispensation of the device called the Solar Insidiator, hereafter called the Companion. In my capacity as High Overseer of Elturel and its vassal territories, I acknowledge that all lands falling under the light of the Companion are forfeit to Zariel. All persons bound by oath to defend Elturel are also considered forfeit. I further recognize that this dispensation will last 50 years, after which the Companion will return whence it came, taking Elturel and its oath-bound defenders with it, if that is Zariel's wish. All this is my everlasting pledge." At this moment, hearing this, there's like a little bit of, scenic, stunned silence. And Rhea kind of falls to her knees and punches the ground. And she says, "If Zariel wants my soul, she's welcome to take it."
No, don't give
Just like
it
that?
to her. We're gonna kill her. What's wrong with you?
"That bastard Krieg signed our souls away. Gnash,
Oh.
I'm not even... Yours might be as well, too.
Oh, snap.
I mean, my soul might be bespoke
Wait.
already.
Can someone... Hold up. Can someone... What just happened? Someone break it down for all two swords.
I think I can help. I was listening pretty closely because there's a puzzle box and that got me interested, and now I actually know what's going on. But yeah, so Krieg, the guy who used to be in charge of Elturel, he decided deal with Zariel and was just like, hey, you protect the city with the big solar incendiator. It'll protect the city, but after 50 years, it all goes to hell, and the devil gets to keep everybody inside of it,
And,
or to the light shined on.
Let me briefly interrupt you. So, one thing that all of you probably know, especially Gnash would know, is that Elturel, for the past 50 years, I guess, explicitly, has had... So, like, 100 years ago, there was devils, right? And... the timeline is 100 years ago, there was devils everywhere. That's when the Hell Riders went in, came back. 50 years later, Elturel was... kind of under siege by undead monsters. Kind of a completely separate thing. From there, Krieg got the people to all pray and ask for help. Unbeknownst to them, Krieg did this. And he pledged everyone who's under the light of the companion. So it's a giant white orb. So, and he said, anyone who exists underneath the light, which Gnash, your people arguably are, because it goes pretty far. Their souls are co-signed to Zariel when they die. So you don't go to whichever heaven you do when you die. You enter into the blood war. And this is like things that parts of this your characters will know most, like the blood war that your characters probably wouldn't know. I mean, that's like pretty deep stuff. Some of this is also being explained to you by Silvara, because I think it is pretty confusing because it is mixing both. She knows all about this. Rhea knows a chunk. Gnash knows a chunk. You guys know other chunks. And there's certain things, if you're just an average person, like Two Swords, you wouldn't know anything about this because you're new to this plane. But for the most part, it's sort of confusing. So she breaks it down to you that, then there's like a specific chunk of people who it would include Rhea, but not Gnash. So both Gnash and Rhea's souls theoretically would be co-signed to Zariel's fiefdom, so to speak, in the Nine Hells, because they all kind of separate their crews. Basically, like a devil is as powerful, and Silvara has explained this all to you. A devil is as powerful as their followers, much like me, Tim Lanning.
Oh, Jesus.
So the more followers you have, the stronger you are. And devils start as these little gross things called lemurs, and then they go on from lemurs based on sort of like what they do. So you fought bearded devils, spiked devils, things like that. Those are all in the hierarchy of devils. And devils, since they're the lawful version of evil versus chaotic, it's very regimented. So you serve a master, that master serves a master, all the way up to Asmodeus. Asmodeus is the top of the devil food chain. And Zariel is the top of she's the general of Avernus. Avernus is the first layer of hell. There are 7, I believe. And Silvara goes on to say that Asmodeus created a paradise eons ago to attract people to his plane. It worked for a time. It truly was beautiful if legends are to be believed. But eventually the blood war happened, and the demons used it as a staging ground to start that infernal eternal war. Now it's a place of pure desecration, unholy to any that step into it. So tainted by the deaths of millions of demons and devils that it might be worse than the second and third layers of hell. It's for certain people. 9 layers. Thank you, Human Filth. Anyone attempting to enter Avernus must do so with the utmost of care. And she goes on to explain too that Zariel, she kind of reiterates what Rhea told you before. And this is a lot of lore, but you've beat the intro zone, right? And then now you get the like 45-minute to 2-hour long Hideo Kojima cutscene, right?
Yeah.
Like, here's what's going on. So yeah, it's basically like you.
But we're all in our wild ass like custom character creation.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're the background. Like you didn't know it was going to be a cutscene, so you're wearing the box of, or the cup of noodles hat and everything like that. Like I didn't know. She goes on to say that Zariel, with the Hell Riders 100 years ago, fell, but for somehow she's now in charge of Avernus, or at least the armies of Avernus to some extent, and. It sounds like what happened was she dragged Elturel into a hell, into Avernus, in order to get troops. My assumption is that every fighting member, every defender that signed the Creed Resolute will be immediately drafted into fighting, and they'll be compelled. Whereas every soul beneath the light of the companion, when they die, whether it be a baker or a guardsman or a farmer, and that whose lands are barely touched by the light of the companion, would also be conscripted into that battle as soon as they die.
Not cool.
Yeah, so Rhea is like the classic, like, closing her fists with like blood dripping down it, of like, you just found out everything that you kind of fought for was a lie.
It's like you find out you have shitty parents and they signed your name to a shitty loan.
Yeah.
Instead of a loan, it's your soul. Instead of the bank, it's hell. So I mean, kind of the same thing.
It's 100% that. It's like you found out there's a light bill in your name since you were a toddler. It was never paid.
When my mommy, I love my mommy very much, but when she moved to Germany, I just keep getting like random phone calls for like banks and timeshare companies and stuff like that. It's like, did my mom just dip? I love it. We respect the scammer on Happy Hell Hour. So
we do.
No judgment. No judgment
Truly.
here.
As long as if the scammy is like a faceless corporate institution.
Yeah, my mom would never scam a good person. Well, yes, yeah.
Listen, I'll scam a bad person all day.
She would, my mom would probably get, so basically, just like my mom, the multi-level marketing system is very attracted to the denizens of hell. So Rhea Savara kind of describes to you how the war works of the various devils and what happens to you if you die. You basically, as soon as you die with your soul, you come out of the river Styx as a lowly lemur, gross, malformed creatures. You're a foot soldier in the war. If you survive and make for a little bit, then maybe you'll be promoted, and then your form will change into a spiked devil or a bearded devil or what have you, all the way up to creatures like this pit fiend here that's within your shield. It's all about signing contracts, and right here is one that we have. I feel like you'll be able to save Elturel, but you might have to go into Avernus to do it.
Is Zariel there?
That is where Zariel is, yes.
She okay. Go there anyway, I guess.
Yeah, I'm down.
From what I understand, she has not left Avernus for quite some time, you see. She replaced the previous general, and now she's in charge. And, well, I've always wanted to go, but Avernus is quite dangerous. I could handle myself for a time, but I've always been busy here.
You know that hierarchy of devils? What are the odds Tico has somewhere in his belongings a piece of paper with the hierarchy, but then his name like written in above Asmodeus?
Yeah, I mean, he literally has Asmodeus tattoos, which I wish Justin wasn't sick right now. It's a GD shame. But you know, it happens. It happens.
He can Snapchat us down.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out if she literally gives you a plan of how to do this.
Oh.
'Cause I feel
Gotta go to hell?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Interrupt.
Oh, do you have something?
Yeah, I was like, okay, how do we get there?
Oh, that's easy. A wizard named Traxagor lives in a tower about 20 miles from here. I've loaned him a spellbook or two, so he owes me a favor. I can have you delivered safely to his tower, and he can use plane shift to take you straight to El Terrell. It should work that way. I can't do it myself, unfortunately. The the wards of Candlekeep keep us from directly teleporting into hell for good reason. Even more importantly, Traxagor... Oh, this is how they do it. That's right. Okay. She gets serious for a moment, folds her hands. Jezebel kind of climbs up on her shoulder and kind of like hunches down, and making eye contact with her, making eye contact with all of you. Even more importantly, Traxagor is looking after an old friend of mine, someone with a history of battling devils in the Nine Hells. I think you'll enjoy her company very much. Her name is Lulu.
Ooh, that's a good name.
Okay.
Can I talk? I like to get things out of my head, so I have to say them out loud, and you guys feel free to jump in. So,
Please.
I know I haven't been I haven't been here the entire time, but it seems like the thing we need to do is we need to either make a deal with a different devil because they're all fighting each other and get him to make a contract so we take away Zariel's armies, because I think that would be a win-win for everybody, just to put everybody back. Or we could go in there. We could try and kill everybody, but we don't know if that breaks the contract. I don't know if the contract stays after death. I'm not a lawyer. I never will be one. But the thing that is really weighing on my mind is because I came into this thinking we're supposed to save Baldur's Gate, but it seems like this contract is done and dusted. I don't really see what Baldur's Gate has to do with anything, unless somebody's going to try to make a new bargain and put them into the Skeleton War or whatever. And
War.
Yeah.
This is just the drill tweet. When you die, you enter the Skeleton War, BRB.
Yes,
The
yes,
Bone
it is.
War.
So, what do you guys think? Because that's what's been going on in my brain, and I had to get it out of my brain, or else I'd explode.
Two Swords just kind of looks at Gnash for a second, like, okay. I mean, we'll probably no problem finding a lawyer in Avernus. I bet it's chock full of them.
Yeah, there's probably a bunch of them down there, I'd imagine. I'd reckon.
You making fun of me?
Who?
No, I'm just kidding. All right, so this old Traxagor feller, Karloff, that's some good thinking. I know we need to strategize, so we know Traxagor will get us there. As far as our game plan, once we're there, we might want to figure something out because we don't know, I assume, what we're going to find.
My old friend Lulu, I believe she is the key. Unfortunately,
she's a key.
No, I will save the surprise. She is quite a magnificent creature, but Lulu has unfortunately lost her memories, and I believe that she is the key, figuratively, to finding a way to stop this. And you are correct, Karloff. It's Krieg and the Van Thampers, from what Two Swords here said. The goal was to destabilize the Flaming Fist such to an extent that, from what my assumption is, to destabilize the region so much that they too would sign a contract with Zariel, is my assumption. Not positive. I would have liked to question Krieg myself, and she kind of looks over at Rhea, but he most assuredly deserved death, if not worse.
Just a random thing that popped into my head, is Lulu short for Lucifer? Because that would make a lot of sense if we're going into hell. But I don't really want to meet a devil.
No. She's a holy being.
Oh, okay, cool.
Damn.
I don't know if it's short for anything, and you know what? Maybe she doesn't either, to be honest with you.
Oh.
She's a being of pure good, and luckily Traxagor is one of my most trusted advisors. He's a zany boy himself. I won't spoil the surprise there either. You gotta have a little fun with, well, I guess you could say, the skeleton war or the blood war on the horizon. Is there any other questions? Feel free to ask any and all things. I'm an expert on this. Plus, we have the library of Candlekeep. You have free reign to look at it. I can tell it to you either in my voice, or Tim can just give you any lore dumps you want.
I mean, I guess in game to roleplay Two Swords Wizard. I mean, any tips on how to kill this Zariel? Anything like? I mean, I'm finna to get. I'm gonna really be doing lots of modifications to these two swords here before we head down. You know, silvered. You know, maybe do some little enchanting and whatnot. But you know, anything that can help. I just really need to kill her and make her dead. She hurt my friend, and that's not okay.
That's very true. That's going to be tough. But let's see.
I'm really good at killing things. It's like the only thing I'm good at.
Oh, yeah?
He's like really, really good at it.
Well, that's good. Well, just know that you'll be putting yourself in between one of the largest and longest running civil wars that has reigned within our plains for quite some time. You might be able to make temporary pacts with some of the most evil creatures that have ever graced our plains as well. They so desire power that they might look over the chance to turn you to their side in order to help you for a little bit, in order to weaken their enemies. So as you said, Karloff, maybe there is a stronger devil, or maybe I wouldn't trust a demon. You can work with them, but I wouldn't trust them. Devils, when you get them to sign themselves to something, they will not break it. That being said, they will do their best to confuse you and muddy what they want you to sign. Make sure to read whatever contract the devil presents to you in the full. That being said, they might explicitly try to get your soul as a reward for the most basic of things.
What happens when you break a contract? And also, can you trick a devil into breaking their contract? Because I think that would be fun.
I will tell you. I think the only reason why I'm pausing is I literally think it tells you in the book.
Oh shit! Hell yeah!
I think they die. They just explode into glitter.
I want Tico to bamboozle a devil.
I think
they turn back into a lemur slug.
Yes.
I think that devils, like sort of the way that their magic works, they might not be able to break it. I'm trying to see. A character bound by an infernal contract who fails to pay the price specified in the contract immediately suffers a penalty for breaching the contract, as specified in the contract itself. Common penalties include no this, but this is for your characters, or for you, the character that is Kim and everyone else. The character's soul is forfeit when the character dies. That is, the character is reborn in the Nine Hells as a lemur. The character loses all monetary wealth and property or a powerful magic item determined by the DM to the devil. The character grows horns, a tail, or some other devilish feature that can't be removed by any means short of divine intervention. The character gains a flaw. Character who exhibits behavior inconsistent with the flaw has disadvantage of any attack rolls, yada, yada, yada. So basically, most of the time, the contract will be like, I will do this if you do this. If you don't do this, I get your soul. But sometimes it's going to be a little more lower things, like the devil might be like, okay, I'll help you if you help me. And the help me might be like, kick that guy's ass. And then if you don't kick that guy's ass, it's not going to be your soul. They're not going to help you. And on top of that, you might lose your soul, or you might grow horns and a tail and stuff like that.
Fuck yeah!
I'm gonna warn you as players that part of the allure of this is that you're gonna be in some tricky situations. I am not positive that Tim Lanning is ready to be the DM to do that because I always feel bad, but it's sort of written from a standpoint to kind of coax players into entering into deals. So
fuck yeah.
You can also void a contract. Silvara lets you know, and it's more or less, it has to be agreed upon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
Or you can kill the person that did it.
So Karloff can get double horns, double tail.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So like,
yeah.
so like if you're a creature with horns, do you get like do your points increase based on the number of horn tips you have?
That's.
Okay, can you be like an 8-point tiefling, or is it like a bad thing?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it just depends, right? You know, like if you have one horns with many points, that's beautiful and good. But if it's a situation where you have several horns, like I don't know, I don't even know what creature would have that. It's very scary for me to think about. It would probably be bad, to be honest with you. So,
But I would look sick as shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like you probably look cool. And you have like 18 tails just like flipping around back there. Look at all the stuff you can grab.
Exactly, but somebody will shoot me in the woods thinking I'm a deer.
That is true.
What is hell deer with 19 tails coming out?
The problem
That'll be
is
fucking-
you get horns and a tail, but Dick Cheney's always near you.
Oh god.
Oh no!
I know.
Also, what's the climate like in Asmodeus? Do we need to pack a coat, or is it summer casual, or I don't know. I just needed to be prepared.
It's hellishly hot.
Oh, okay.
That being said,
gross.
you might feel a breeze of Arctic cold as well. It's more or less designed to make things horrible.
I'm gonna wear less clothes.
Cool. All right.
She can literally tell. The book tells you that you can read the Dungeon Master's Guide at your players, which I think is cool.
Hell yeah.
So I'm gonna do that. All right, so she'll tell you, Avernus, no planar portals connect directly to the lower layers of Nine Hells by Asmodeus' orders. As such, the first layer of Avernus is the arrival point for visitors to the plane. As I said, used to be a paradise. As Avernus is a rocky wasteland with rivers of blood and clouds of biting flies. Fiery comets occasionally fall from the darkened sky and leave fuming impact craters behind. Empty battlefields are littered with weapons and bones, showing where legions of the Nine Hells, that makes sense, met enemies on their native soil and prevailed. The Archduchess Zariel rules Avernus, supplanting her rival. And she's like reading this from a book. It has a picture of she's like she holds this book up and she's like supplanting her rival Bel, who was fallen out of Asmodeus' favor and first forced to serve as Zariel's advisor. Tiamat, the queen of evil dragons, is a prisoner on this layer. Watch out for that, especially with your history with her. Ruling her own domain, but confined to the Nine Hells by Asmodeus, in accordance with some ancient contract, the terms of which are only known by Tiamat and the Lords of the Nine. Zariel's seat of power is a soaring basalt citadel festooned with the partially incinerated corpses of guests who failed to earn the Archduchess's favor. Zariel appears as an angel whose once beautiful skin and wings have been ruined by fire. Her eyes burn with furious light and can cause creatures looking upon her to burst into flame.
Ew. Wait,
Damn.
so you said her rival is Ball? Where does he live? Can we
Bell.
say, hey, help
Bell.
us? Oh, Bell.
Bell, not to be confused with Ball.
Where do they live?
Yeah, where they at?
Where does Ball live? I don't know. Somewhere else.
We could go to one of the other layers, Planes of Hell, meet that boss. But like, you want the first one and who wins the second one? Go there and be like, oh, Despater. Looks like
The next is
Despater. You want 1 and 2? You want to have
Amen.
2? You
Amen.
want knock out the wall and expand, make this one big living
Yeah.
space.
Stygia apparently is the 5th, and that's the ice one. So maybe a little fire and ice, little yum yum.
We were all room for activities.
Yeah, think of it.
Okay. I mean, Karloff, you seem really into this stuff. If you want to do some research, I need to get my swords taken care of.
Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. It was gonna be nonsense.
Since you also want to read, I can literally tell you what the monster manual says. So you see.
Open up this book.
Open up this book.
A monster manual. What? Why don't we get one of them?
Oh shit!
It is funny because Volo's Guide to Monster is canon within the realms or whatever. So
that's twice as funny.
Instead of taking up more time sprouting lore, I'll just say that you just remind me that you've read the book, and I will give you more information about devils and shit.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
It literally says characters can also research devils to learn everything that's said about them in the devils entry of the monster manual.
I do that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, you start at Lemur, then you go to Imp, Spine Devil, Bearded Devil, Barb Devil, Chain Devil, Bone Devil, Horn Devil, Iron, yes, Ice Devil, Pit Fiend, Duke or Duchess, Archduke or Archduchess. Isn't that
Did you say porn devil?
Horn.
Yeah.
Horn. He's a horny
Horn.
devil.
Oh, I think you said porn devil.
Same
and I was
thing.
just like, wow, okay. Wig.
That's from the Bible.
Same thing.
That's from the Bible. Some of these kind of look like it. I'm just looking at pictures of devils now. So Fisk leads you out, two swords, to a... I'm having trouble finding a good map of Candlekeep, because Candlekeep, I believe, was the location of one of the Baldur's Gate games. I might even be like the location of Baldur's Gate 2 is what I heard one time. Don't quote me on that. But chat, if you know, let us know. So I'm having trouble finding what literally the place looks like from... Oh, maybe this is it. I don't know. Yeah, so it's just a fortress. So there's walls within walls, and then there's like a castle in the middle type fortress thing. And he leads you off to the side through the grounds. It's still brightish out after you guys are in there for a couple hours. And he leads you past the inn, and any of you else can go with you. Gnash, I don't know what you want to do.
Oh, I'll go with him.
And you see in what looks like an ogre stoop his head and go into the bar, and you hear Fisk giggle slightly as he leads you around the corner a little bit more, and then leads you to like sort of a blacksmith. The blacksmith looks a lot different than your normal blacksmith because this is a place of learning and wizardry. So you do see a yoked wizard, right? She got beefy ass arms. But she has like a stereotypical Gandalf hat.
Does she look like Cara Dune?
She looks like Cara Dune. Perfect. Yeah.
That's all right.
She's a Cara Dune Goliath. So she has like a braid that's kind of like tied up in like one of those circular braids on the back of her head, and she has like her wizard robe pulled open with just kind of like a leather vest and like an apron over it to avoid more scars and things like that. And you see her sort of meticulously with her giant Goliath hands inlaying like little runes onto the end of a mace, and she won't look up from her task there. And then Fisk lightly coughs and goes, Mistress Vanel, this is Two Swords and Gnash.
Howdy.
She looks up at you. She kind of has on these jeweler's glasses, so she looks up and her eyes are just like huge. Well, hello there. Welcome to my shop. I'll just be a minute, but I'm happy to help with whatever you need. Just got to etch in these. Then a giant lightning bolt happens, and you guys are temporarily blinded for a second. But when your vision comes to, she's holding a beautiful hammer that has like spikes on the top, but it's like kind of lightly glowing with gems. And she goes, "Haha, Master Gardarel will be extremely excited for this." Anyways, and she kind of like pulls her wizard robes. You know, it's a wizard's area. Everyone looks exactly like a Gandalf, but slightly different.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And she says, "What can I do for you?" And then Fist sort of like vouches for you. But what do you guys tell her?
I'll kind of lay on my swords kind of table and say, I need these things to be turned into what is essentially devil-killing machines.
Do you put down the other mace that you acquired too?
Yeah, I'm like, and I've been told, so the swords, I'm assuming maybe want to toss some silver in there, but I got this mace here too, and I've been told that you might be able to take the properties of the mace and imbue them within one of my swords.
Oh, yes. Interesting. It's a technique that I've heard of, and I've done a few times myself. Yes, I would not call myself a master at this, but it is something that I believe I can do. I'm curious. Why would you just not want to get to use this mace or use better weapons that you could acquire?
Because I don't want to change my name.
That's fair. That's fair.
I wouldn't want to change mine either, buddy.
And then
and then the other one, can we do something? Can you like, because I'm going to be fighting devils and demons and whatnot.
Yeah, she lifts up your two swords gingerly as if they are a beautiful plate that your grandmother got you for your wedding. And you think, why did grandma give me a plate? But you know that if you break the plate, it'll be bad. And you also know that grandma is going to ask about the plate whenever she comes over. So she picks it up ever so plate gingerly and turns them over and kind of rubs runs her fingers along the tine and other technical words for swords. Can you re-describe what the swords look like and their names and stuff like that?
Yeah, I didn't have a ton of description. I like the idea that the metal, the blades were black, like a matte black. And then pretty simple basic hilts. Very functional. Just really high quality, good giant knives for killing. But they are named. The one I use with my left hand is named Aloysius, and the one on the right is Archibald.
Have you watched the new season of Letterkenny?
The very most recent one?
Mm-hmm.
I did, but it's been a minute.
Okay. Very nice,
there...
very smooth, very good. Remember that? Then Katie's new boyfriend?
Yes. Yeah,
I hate him so much. Very good, very smooth, very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
She says under her breath, very good, nice hilt, very strong, very sharp. This has been your Letterkenny reference of the week.
Yeah.
Well, this is certainly something we can do. Did you guys basically told Silvara that you're gonna solve this problem, right? I didn't conscript you into just doing it.
I mean, yeah, we're going there anyway, right? We're going to fuck up some devils and shit.
I mean,
so, yeah.
I'm like, if me killing Zariel solves your problem for you, cool.
So, after you're there a little bit talking about what maybe you think would be chill and cool, Jezebel shows up in her entire disgustingness, but she's clutching a note, and she hands it to the blacksmith. Is like, I will give you this note sent by my lady if you give me your soul. And then the blacksmith just laughs like, give it to me now and I won't crush your brains. She goes, and she hands it over. And then the Quasit runs away. Quasit, they're actually demons, so she probably wouldn't try to get the soul. So I'm sorry if I ruined your lore. Immersion.
It's still funny though. I still love it.
She might try to get the soul. She nasty that way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And she takes out she looks at the scroll and it's like, okay, if Mistress Savakis says that you all need to be outfitted, I think it's the least we could do. It'll take me a day or two to infuse your items, and I actually believe that I can. Looking at this mace here, I can there's inherent magics that let it cast light. I think I can split the ability for it to cast light and make it so it won't cast light, but both your swords will be magical. Would that be all right?
Yeah, okay.
So you won't be able to cast light with one of them, but
That's kind of cool, but okay.
it is pretty cool.
That would have been cool. Flashlight sword.
Wow.
I could also try to keep it intact and just put it into the one sword. It's up to you.
Super quick, out of character, like mechanics of like what are the numbers? What would that be?
They would
what
both
the
be
end result?
+1 magic swords.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take that as
Okay.
opposed to
The one silvered and the one flashlight.
Oh, I guess I don't need to do the silver if they're both a magic sword.
Nah, silver gets rid of pretty much all resistances, and there might be a few things, but if I find a monster in there that weirdly is only resistant to silvered and not magic, which I don't think exists, but I don't know every monster, I will just get rid of that for you.
Yeah, thank God.
Hell yeah.
For
Okay,
just
and then-
you, not the rest of you. None of y'all.
My weapon's already magic, girl.
I
What's
know,
up?
I know.
I'll kiss your neck.
So it'll be okay, and then that's +1 just to hit, or
+1 to
yeah.
hit and to damage.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So you get 3 things: the ability to void resistances for a class of monsters, it being magical property, +1 to your roll on your d20, and then +1 to your damage.
I have that on my halberd thanks
Yes.
to an invocation.
I love it.
Yep.
I
So
love
just
it.
go
I'm so happy.
into your D&D
I'm so
Beyond
happy.
character sheet, and then just add 2 +1 swords. Kim and Josh acquired their +1 items by joining late. It's sort of the advanced strat. It's like, don't join the campaign at the beginning, because if you join the campaign at the beginning, the only magic items you're going to get are the ones in the book, unless
Yeah. Or be a warlock where you just make your weapon plus a +1 weapon.
Yeah,
Hell
exactly.
yeah.
She also says that looks like your goblin friend also will be requiring a new weapon, and that I can do as well. So it should take me a day or two. This is probably tricky. See me in 2 days' time.
Okay. How much?
It says here it's covered.
Oh, that is awesome.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay. Yeah, so you're free to sort of do a little bit of downtime activity stuff. You have a little bit of rest. This is truly a safe place. You see powerful folks all over the grounds, chatting, talking. You see griffins flying overhead, kind of patrolling the area. There are cliffs and sort of like rocky outcoverings protecting the back of the keep, so that there's only one way in or out of the Candlekeep. So it's a relatively strange Hogwartian place that you can spend your time dicking around in. So like Kim, you're literally allowed to open the Monster manual and read everything about devils.
Hell yeah.
And you can bring that up.
Love it.
They probably wouldn't have the character, like the actual creatures in there. Mm-hmm. So as soon as you get to like but you can read the stuff under them. So let me see if that comes up. Yes. Okay, yeah. So there's nothing really under them per se. So it's like you just can read whatever you want and then just stop once you get to the first little bit if you'd like. Because none of the actual devils have like the little stuff beneath them like other monsters. It's all above in a whole big section. Is there anything else you guys want to do?
I'm going to tell you what I want to do first, and you can decide whether this thing exists or not in the city.
Okay.
I want to shoot spell scrolls out of my Iron Defender. Are there any spell scrolls for sale?
There are. There certainly are.
Shit.
I don't understand the first portion. of it, but there are a million. There's like little. You can be put in contact with folks that provide spell copying services for sure.
Oh yeah, I want to make a magic gun. It's basically.
Hell yeah. The funny part to me is that you're just shooting like the paper at them. Like you built it and you're like, shoot the scroll, and then it shoots it and the magic doesn't go off and you're like, fuck!
Shit! I didn't think this through!
So what are you trying to do? How does this work? What are you saying to me?
I don't know. Dave Rollins and I were talking about it, and he's just like, if you want to do something really funny, just have your Iron Defender shoot spell scrolls, buy the spell scrolls and shoot them.
Okay. Yeah, so the only tiny issue with that is that spell scrolls are expensive.
Yes.
So
yeah, I could only figure I could get like one and save it.
Yeah. So you could probably get a couple magic missiles for 25 gold apiece. And then you can get you can get Fireball for 150.
Oh shit. Okay, let me see how much money I have.
How much money do I have?
I have 62 money.
Okay.
So I can only buy one.
We could give you
So let's say you read the book. You all meet back up at the tavern. Let me do the classic D&D thing and read you the tavern's little gray box. The pub has a low ceiling supported by a massive wooden crossbeam and narrow shuttered windows. A large fire pit in the middle of the room is surrounded by a half dozen tables and matching benches. Aren't you glad I read that? That makes you happy. There's a group of... There's like 30 or so people in here enjoying spirited debate and laughing, some off the side reading books, some drinking alone, not being annoying, yada, yada, yada. But the most interesting part of this bar, called the Hearth, is an ogre. He's a giant boy named... Little one. Fisk is basically letting you know he's going to stay a day or two and then he's going to scooch. So he brings you to the bar. He goes, oh yes, that's Little One. You look up and you see this giant ogre with a kind of headband on, reading a book in his tiny hands called The Sum of Theology by Saint Vithira.
Wait, he's a big ogre with tiny hands?
Oh,
or the
no,
book is tiny?
Book tiny, big hands.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just sitting in the corner reading a normal-sized book in his big-ass hands. But everyone seems... There's a few people kind of walk up to him and they're chatting. But besides that, it's a normal bar, just with more wizards.
Nice.
I have like a question, an inventory question.
Talk to me.
Is our group Two Swords and the Small Homies gang? Because Two Swords is very big.
Yeah.
Tico and I are not very tall.
I mean, now that Pesha's gone, sort of. Yeah, I mean, Pesha's
Cool.
Pesha was big too. Maybe bigger than Two Swords, depending on their postures at the moment. Tico is very tall for a goblin, but still not super tall.
Yeah, I think I'm only like a couple inches taller than Tico.
Karloff is 5 foot even.
Okay.
So we are like the three of us like the same
Yes.
height, and then there's like big old
Yes.
Two Swords.
Yes. Yeah, and then you have the bear too.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Big.
They also probably lead you to rooms you can stay in. Would the bear stay with you, or would you would you guys put some of your stuff there, take your armor off, calm down, or like this is the first time you've probably been safe in quite some time. Do your characters look the same and the safety of Candlekeep as they did of the relative dangers of Baldur's Gate?
You said we're safe and not in danger. I would probably just look like I'm wearing regular clothes because I don't have my mage armor on.
Yeah.
Two Swords isn't emote out anymore. He doesn't have his eyeliner anymore. He's not wearing the black hood, the sleeveless hoodie over his head anymore.
Yeah.
But he still held on to it because he thinks that part looked cool. So he might bust that out, to look tough.
Cool. Well, you're provided more or less small kind of rooms, and you're provided a key for each one, and set a second key for a chest at the end of the bed. But yeah, you're inside this bar. Many people drinking delicious-looking drinks and having a gay old time. So yeah, this is where you can kind of let Karloff in on. Well, I mean, you've been with Karloff for a couple days now, so it's like, what is your party's inventory, situation, and like, what do you want to get out of the next day and a half before you head into hell?
I'll probably want to, and this is, I don't know if we want to do it right now, but I mean, that might be not as fun. I'm just saying right now, I guess we'd want to stock up and see if there's anything we can buy as far as potions, not just health potions, but I need to do some browsing of wares, see if there's anything that looks useful.
True that.
Karloff, we have, I know Justin's not here to fight it, but we have a shit ton of money, so I got to go back and like, but
He's screaming in here.
We can get you covered, but I would want to. I know it's not the most enjoyable for people to watch or listen to, but I definitely want to stock up on some things like some potions and whatnot.
No, I think it is interesting. Screw them.
Okay.
It's
okay
because we're running a dangerous module adventure. I think it would maybe be kind of slightly boring, but it would be helpful for other people that play it, or for
maybe we would go like recklessly into there.
Yeah,
we got this. Oh shit!
And I feel
just like, because because it's such a classic. Anyone selling an immovable rod?
Yeah, I mean, I have to imagine. I don't have any. The adventure doesn't say like this is here, but I have to imagine everything like. Anything like that you can acquire here, of like common magic items and things of that nature. So yeah, that's probably not that ridiculous, I think.
Cool. We also probably need to get water because it sounds like the rivers are blood and not something drinkable.
Yep. Let's get water. Rations. All right. Water and rations.
We're gonna get spell scroll ammo.
Yes. So
I want to take a good luck bath, which probably will cost a lot.
Ooh, I'm gonna get a flask of holy water.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
Can I buy both teriyaki and ranch flavoring for the jerky?
Yes.
Yes. Aggressive yes.
What about mango habanero?
Yes, absolutely.
Let's see. What would be a good pody? What would be a good pody?
Now, okay, if the rivers are blood, do we know if it rains? Would it rain blood?
Probably rain blood. Yeah, probably rain blood.
Should
Or
we
acid.
get,
Or acid. Or
should we get like cloaks of some kind? Maybe.
Yes.
I like that.
Potions of acid resistance.
I like that.
Or a cloak.
Just something, or if like
I'm
it
down
gets
for
like
some
real
kind of
windy.
protective cloak. Yeah,
Yeah, like
protective cloak.
or something. We can kind of throw like a quick thing on.
Also, it's probably during this downtime that I would take your spellcasting. I forget what it's called. Focused. And I'll just be like, hey, give me that. I want to make it better. And I'll put the Enhance Arcana infusion on it.
Hell yeah. That gives me a +1 to my spells.
Yes, it does.
So I'm going to say with just inherently all common potions are there. So potion of climbing, potion of comprehension, potion of healing, and potion of watchful rest. And let's see what uncommon gets ya. Oh, it's green. Yeah, there's not that many uncommon potions. So definitely all uncommon potions too.
Okay.
And that is animal friendship, fire breath, growth, poison, resistance. They're all specific. And water breathing. And are there any rares? Is there not any rare potions?
That'd be the blues?
Yeah, they weren't showing up on my page for some reason. What do you do?
I want clairvoyance. I want to see the future. No.
You hear that someone is selling a potion of heroism for 500 gold.
No.
Yeah, that's the thing that sucks with rare stuff. It's like, whoa.
But I'm down for like I'm gonna look at the cloaks.
Yeah, I think
That's a good idea, Gnash. That's a great idea, man. Let's go to a not a haberdashery. That's hats. Let's go to a tailor.
Cloakerdasher.
See if we
Yeah.
Let's go to the Cloakerdasher.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so let me
That's
pull
Cloak of
out my
Protection.
DM's Guild Cloaks of the Realms. Let me see if there's a good cloak here that I can start from. Okay, so you go to a chat room. Give me a name. I'm gonna say their name in a second. First one I see that's pretty good and not like Butthole Surfer, is it?
Of a person.
Of a person. Yeah, I need a name of
he needs a character name.
A wizard. Steve's.
Steve's. I like it. It's yes with an S.
All right, so you go to Steve's Cloaks. Well, I think for the most part, there's not a lot of like stores because it's not a town. It's a fortress of learning. So they lead you around and they bring you to Steve's workshop. Steve's is his workshop. Steve's. And they say, hello, good to see you. Human Filth, what is Steve's? You see sort of like drying on the side of the Steve's is a gnome. Perfect. You see a gnome standing on a step stool, kind of like curing some leather or like what looks to be scaly skin of some sort of creature. You have no idea. And he looks over at you. What can I do you for today? What can I do you for today?
You got any like cloaks that would protect us from infernal magics and whatnot? You know, typical. Nothing crazy, just the type of stuff one might encounter in hell.
Let me see.
Something like that.
I have these. They're called Cloaks of Protection. I also have cheaper cloaks that are treated with a little bit of this, that, and the other thing. These magical cloaks here, though, Mamma Mia, are much better because they increase your AC to a bit. But that being said, they are okay. This is uncommon cloak using the rules from Xanathar's Guide. I roll a d6 times 100, and that is how much these cloaks cost. These are 400 gold each. I will sell them to a friend of the Candlekeep for 350. So these are cloaks that give you +1 bonus to AC and saving throws while you wear them.
Right.
And due to their magic warding nature, they would accomplish everything else. The other cloaks, I would say, are 50, and they would be... What makes sense? To me, that would lightly neutralize... That would neutralize... How about this? It would give you advantage on... checks while you're being rained blood and poison and acid outside, but we'll figure out down the road some sort of like Breath of the Wild ass degradation system. The Cloak of Protection will not degrade unless you guys get bad things happen to you.
So we got two choices. One is really expensive, or one's 350, one's 50. Sorry. I listen. What the really expensive one is increases AC by 1.
AC by 1 and +1 to saving throws while you wear this cloak.
Yeah.
Okay, it's 350 each.
Each.
So to trick all four of us out, okay, we're looking at
That's a lot.
100, 1400.
You could also just like get one of the beefy ones for the lower AC.
I mean, could I just get one and then just hold it and they could all just...
You could probably
Like
fit
ducklings.
one of them under you, but not both, Because even if it's just your foot or leg outside in an acid rainstorm, it's like
I gotta
sweet
look
chill.
up how much Tico... I was gonna say... Tico, say nothing if you are okay with me.
All right.
All right.
And then the cheaper ones did what?
That's gonna just protect you from any potential acid rains or blood rains or poison rains, and then they'll
Durability on them, though.
yeah. Then if there's like something really bad, like if a dragon does a breath weapon at you, you'll get advantage on your roll. But then we'll figure out a durability thing down the road.
All right, I'm actually trying to look up because I know how much I actually have on me,
Mhm.
and I don't have enough to buy all of us one.
Yeah, it
but I'm
depends
trying to
on
look at
where
that
you.
massive haul we had.
Yeah, the massive hall has the most amount of money.
I mean, technically, it wouldn't I have it because the only way we're gonna carry it is if it's in the bag.
Yeah, no, you have all.
Tico's not carrying that
Tico's
shit,
not
so I do
carrying
have all.
all.
Of it.
No, you have all.
But I
of
want
it.
to be like chill about this. I don't want to just be like, we have infinite monies. I want to. Like,
No. Yeah, no. That's. I agree with you. I want to make sure you're not just.
I'm looking for
Taking advantage of me.
message when you sent us.
I can say that again. As I was saying before, I can resend you big things of loot, but I cannot send
I'm
you
looking.
small ones. So I can resend this one though.
Sorry, listeners, chat.
No, this
It's
is
all
Dungeons and
right.
Dragons, baby.
Because there was one other thing. Actually, you know what? And he's a two swords would be very. He'd be the last thing he'd do, and he'd be like kind of kicking. So while I'm doing this, you see him kind of going back to the blacksmith lady who was working, and he's kicking, kind of like kicking pebbles around. If anybody sees him and wants to come up, and he's kind of like just hanging his head and got his hands in his pockets, kind of like scuffing his heels on the ground, kind of like loitering.
So Karloff comes up and says, "Hello, big friend. I have something that'll cheer you up. I finally finished your mask. So if you feel sad, just put on a mask, and no one can tell you're sad. That's how I do it."
Boom, there you go.
I love it. What's it
And so
what's it
she
look like
hands
again?
you a mask that you asked to look like a human, and
Oh.
it is terrifying looking because you have a snoot, you have a little muzzle, so it's just like it's like a weird, like it looks like a horse, but it's a human, like a shaved horse.
Oh dear God.
But it's got eyebrows and a big old mustache.
Oh, thank you, Tim. I was still scrolling through to look for. I love it. Does it look nice or do I look scary? Either one is a good answer.
I think a little bit of both, honestly, because
Ah.
you are big and that's not your face.
I like it. So, Karloff, this is kind of awkward for me because but I'm trying to be like really smart and I don't want to let anyone down. And I know that while swords are the best weapons that have ever been created of all weapons, there is like one time out of 1,000 when you might not be able to use swords. And I got this, and he kind of holds up his basic ass like crossbow, like and like I don't like to use it. And the only way I can do is if I tell myself that I'm firing tiny little swords at people. But I was thinking of maybe going and seeing if I could get this thing kind of upgraded of some kind too, because to help. But I don't like the idea of using it.
I mean, understandable. I have a bow too, and I like it. It makes my arms really strong. Gives me some definition in my arms. So if you wanted to get it upgraded, maybe I could do it, but like not right now, because I'm already sort of in over my head on the repairs that I'm already doing to stuff, and I just need some more time to think about it and to plan. So that way, it'll be like it's a sword that flies through the air. But if you give me some time, I can figure it out. I could make it. Oh man, what if I made it like infinite little swords that were coming out? That would be pretty cool. But I need to sit down and draw some blueprints up, perhaps. But yeah, I can take a look at it.
That will be awesome.
Jossum. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can have repeating ammo, which is where it's like infinite little ammos that come out, and they could be magic, or I can just give you. Yeah, but I already used up my 2 infusion slots.
Gotcha. Hey.
Yeah, and so you said for the scrolls, the magic missiles were 25 each, and the fireball was 150.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna get, if it's cool with the group, I'm gonna get 2 magic missile and 1 fireball.
So I actually just put all of this in, so I haven't just in my D&D our total money.
Okay, cool.
So how much do I need to subtract?
200 if I get that, but
200
I could
gold?
always cheapen it out because like this
No,
is
you're
just like
fine.
a fun thing.
We have.
Did you subtract your bag of holding cost?
Shit. No. What was that?
I think it's like
Do you remember?
200.
Okay.
I forget.
do
I
that.
gave it to you like half price or something. I don't remember.
Okay. I will reduce that by 200.
And just then you hear, "Oh fuck! You should have been paying attention to the money, and one of your swords break. Now you're one sword."
Okay, we have minus that actually because I forgot there were 200 fucking platinum pieces in that one, haul, which is a lot.
Yeah.
That's
They're
a
10 each.
Yeah,
so
and D&D Beyond's pretty good because I'm tracking the money on one of my games, and it's pretty good at like just like, okay, I have platinum pieces, put it here. That kind of like tells you how much you all have.
Hell yeah.
So we're at 3,675 gold.
Whoo!
Jesus fuck! Really?
Well, you gave us 200 gold each.
Yeah, that's true.
For,
Yeah. I forgot about
200
that.
platinum, and then all that stuff you just sent me in the message. I just added it all up.
Yep, that's all.
Damn.
All right, so we can drop 1,400 of that, and I'll get those badass cloaks.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
That's pretty cool, man.
And then you said my swords, the master covered the cost.
Yes, that is your saving humanity bonus. Since there wasn't a lot of magic items for those of you that are playing the same characters. So Justin will get one too, and I'll talk.
I mean, we'd buy 4. You want to? And again, do you guys want to cloak up?
Yeah. What is the name of that cloak?
I believe it's Cloak of Protection.
Cloak of Protection. Right? Yes.
Hell yeah.
I'll link it in our G chat.
Let me make sure I subtract 1,400.
Sick.
I'm actually gonna take it out of the platinum because it's easier. Because Tico, we're buying these cool cloaks.
And you guys
say nothing if you're okay with it.
You argue back and forth about it, yada yada yada, and then
Wig.
So mad.
I think I think that's inherently how it works. Is like we want everyone to be here, and we don't take advantage of people when they're gone. But you kind of have to take the lumps when you miss. Sick, busy.
I mean, he got a cloak too.
He got a cloak too, and he's getting a magic weapon also.
Yeah, he's getting a magic weapon.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we all got fucking cloaks.
Sick.
Hell yeah.
All right, so did you subtract the 200 for the scrolls?
1,400 for the scroll. How much for the scrolls?
200
for Kim's, right?
200.
Yeah, I did. Yep.
All right, so Pat, going forward, you're going to track all of it in your character.
You know what? I will just do that. I'll do
Perfect.
it. Yeah,
Thank you
I'll
so
take care
much.
of the money.
Cool.
Yeah, what we did is my character tracks all the gold, but if there's any like weird specific gold anyone has of like I secretly stole this money, then they track that, and I don't track any of it. But so if you can keep up with that, that's fine. Or it could just be like Tico's like tells you later I stole the money or yada yada yada. So. Yeah, I mean you pay for all that stuff, and they say they take your measurements. Stevis does is like, this will take me the exact same time as getting your swords. Isn't that convenient? So just come back when your sword is done too.
Make sure
Look
you run for my ears.
Oh yes. What would what would your cloaks look like? What do these cloaks look like?
What? Ooh.
You have a little bit.
Customize them.
Yeah, a little customization here. He has various. It's like the fabric is the least important part of the protection, but the most important part of the entire creation.
Hell yeah.
Big. My cloak could probably look like if I could pick the color, it'd be like a forest green.
Okay.
Ooh.
The hood part would literally have like little sleeves for my ears to go into.
Mm-hmm.
To like
Shit.
look outside of my head. And they would fit. It would probably be like integrate really like cool looking into my mage armor.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like when you cast it, the cloak puffs up and goes and flares out like a cool anime thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like a cape.
Yeah, like Stevis would ask you to cast mage armor in order to get both measurements. He's like, yes, I think there's a way I could do it where you won't Hulk out and rip your jeans.
Hell yeah.
What about two swords and Karloff?
Karloff would probably pick like purple, like a dark, deep purple, and the cut would probably look like something from Journey. You know that little game with the little dudes that wander around? Because she's got little bird legs, but it's just like big cloak that's a little triangle, and then her little birdie legs just underneath.
The art that you made of Karloff earlier was like reminding me of Journey a whole lot. So
yes, that's what I was going for. Yeah, so it looks like that, of just like big cloak that covers everything, but it's got like, you know how like fancy cloaks has those slits where you can stick your little arms through?
Yeah. Two swords.
Two Swords, his cloak is red. It's like a very dark crimson red, very similar to his skin or scale tone. And actually it looks like scales.
Ooh.
Like they've drawn like thousands of little scales on it.
Love it. Well, this should be easy. Thank you so much for your patronage. And you pay in the platinum?
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I give him 140 platinum.
Ooh, platinum. Beautiful. Delicious. Yummy.
Don't brother, don't eat it.
What?
But if that's what he does, that's why he wants to.
I am neither a banker nor a cook. So I'm not an expert in money or food, but I'm pretty sure you don't eat it.
I'm Stevis, the gnome. Don't tell me what to do or I'll kill you.
That's you weird, man.
Wasn't there like some chicken starter who eats the rocks?
Yes. Abigail. Yeah, you give her a rock, she goes, delicious. Is there anything beautiful and fun you want to do? Elsewise, it will be the morning of your little treats are all done.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna take a good bath somewhere. There's a bathhouse. There's a bathhouse, like a steam room, like a spa.
You know there is. Wizards gotta they live here. You know they gotta have a R&R next to the racquetball court or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Then I'm definitely gonna do that.
Okay. It's included with your free stay as you provided a book that they don't have. Now, is a good luck bath a thing? Is this a thing that I should know about, or?
No, it's just like one of those things where you can take a shower to get the stank of the road off of you.
Gotcha.
Like you just shower to feel better before you go do something else.
Gotcha. You have luck because you took a bath in the past.
I just like feel good.
Perfect.
Bath.
All right, yeah. So you spend time
My friend.
doing all of these things. It's everything we did was not the first day or the first couple hours you were here, but it was over the course of the couple days. You all get refreshened. You buy some. Let's say subtract another 100 gold for provisions.
Okay.
So she tells you that you're not going to be able to take your cart with you, because you're going to be plane shifted there. So it's whatever you're carrying.
Gotcha.
So you probably
And I put the cart in the bag.
So you can't take barrels of water, but you can take.
Trying to put the bag over the cart.
Yeah.
All right, you hold it open. Gnash, come here. Hold that end open.
You break the bag of holding, which we all know is a meme, and it creates a void explosion. You all die.
Is there an alchemy jar for sale anywhere?
Yes. Wait. Oh, you mean the mayonnaise boy?
Yeah, the mayo jar.
Yeah, I was about to say yes, but I actually was going to make a joke about that earlier. Yeah, let me see.
So wait. Karloff was going to do something with the crossbow. Is there anything I can do here to it, or is there a better range?
Oh yeah,
Is
because I can't do it right now.
So, kind of following a lines of the rules as written, as I understand them.
Yeah.
I believe there's better ammo. And there is silvered ammo. I'm not finding them when I'm searching on D&D Beyond, so I might need a little help trying to find those, but I feel like because I know they exist because spoilers, you can find some in Avernus, but I don't know where to clicky to lead you on how much they would cost. Obviously, as we've said before, I can just make it up, but it's fun to figure out what the
Yeah, sometimes it's good to be limited, like, and be creative within.
Exactly. I can find it. Just a second. Let me find it. I think.
He's just gonna be really mad if he ever has to use it. He's just gonna be really just silly. Just like,
it's not my fault.
ugh.
Okay. No, I clicked on the one. Oh, is it her? I'm scrolling through something I can't tell you to see if I see the words sticking out. Because this is important. We need it.
As far as how we're spending your day, Two Swords basically spent the whole time from sun up till the sun starts to set, just like training, like exercising and working out and honing, like using practice swords and things like that, training. And then as soon as sun starts going down, he goes to if there's any kind of watering hole.
Yeah, it's the hearth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hearth. And he's
I was like, yes,
carousing.
Yeah. There's the ogre is usually in the corner reading various books, and there's a cavalcade of various interesting wizard types and attendant types. And you actually one of the days you go there, you actually see Silverakas there, laughing heartily with a colleague and things of that nature.
I'll work out with Two Swords.
Okay, what's that look like?
Hell yeah!
It'd probably be Two Swords with the swords and me with my halberd, and we're just like doing sparring things.
Mm-hmm.
And then sweet combo attacks, maybe.
Ooh,
Yeah, and we're betting push-ups. You're has to do like 50 push-ups per match.
Yeah. And I'm lighter and smaller, so it's easier for me to do the 50 push-ups because there's not enough body resistance.
So I found something online which appears official enough to me. So you can get 10 pieces of ammo for 100 gold.
Damn.
Of silver ammo, excuse me. So
How much? Sorry, say that one more time. How much for how much?
10 pieces of ammunition for 100 gold. So 10 gold per
Sold.
silver.
I was about to say, that's probably enough because you are so...
Yeah, it would only be, and I gotta find a way how I'm gonna make a note in here
Yeah.
for this. All right, take the money out. How am I gonna?
Are you just going to get 10?
Yeah, I'll just buy you think the 10 isn't? Yeah, 10's probably. I mean,
For you.
Yeah.
I mean, I have not used it. Maybe anyone watching, have I used it one time in this whole in our what is it for 17?
That's what I mean. Like, I feel like you're probably maybe you would use one, maybe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I also can shoot magic at a distance as well.
Yeah.
And there's other things you can do on, like make a big ruckus and then take the dodge action. Maybe that helps. Who's to say?
Maybe I can pull with my magic missiles and then just pull them in front of you and then you...
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah.
Yep. All right, so mark off the 100 gold.
Yep, done.
Good luck tracking it. All right.
It's fine.
Kim.
Yes.
Give me a roll. And your roll is a d20, and you need to beat a 12.
Hell yeah.
Do it.
Oh, no, I got a 6.
Oh.
Unfortunately, there's no alchemical jug. You talk to a very interesting wizard or Candlekeepian, and they're like, I've seen some from time to time, but I haven't seen one recently. Oh, golly beans, I wish you were here. I would have been able to sell it to you. I know a guy that can do it, but Baldur's Gate, perhaps, might have one. Have you been to Baldur's Gate?
Yeah, I lived there for as many years as I am old. This is the first time I've actually left it. So I'm a little peeved that I didn't pick up one there while I was in the neighborhood. But thank you anyway.
Isn't that ironic?
Away.
It's like rain.
Anything else? Any other mayonnaise contraptions you guys want, or?
I would just say Karloff is gonna tinker on Bear to make it so like a little spring-loaded thing, so
Okay.
shoots at his palm.
Yeah, there's definitely
a
other
big boy.
artificers here, so we can say that your knowledge of artificery is a little more. It's only a day, but you get to like look at a lot of stuff. You get some ideas, and then if there's ever any future downtime, because I'm sure there's gonna be a few times that you're gonna have to like just chill in hell. I'm sure, like there's a tsunami of blood flies. We need to hide out in this cavern for a little bit, or something like that. So yeah, there's definitely gonna be downtime. But your cloaks are delivered to your rooms directly, and two swords. The blacksmith, Velen, I believe I said, brings you, leaves a note to return to her forge in order to check out it. When you get there, is there any think of it as a growing weapon in an RPG game or a shitty iPhone game or whatever. Like, is there any like extra flourish to it of like level 1's this, level 50 is a normal sword with boobs on it?
Yeah, I think it would have I'm trying to think what color, an edge to it. So it's like the body of the blade is back, but the outline kind of has a glowing edge to it. I'm thinking what would fit with what we did to it.
So probably the radiant. So it could have like a sort of radiant, whitish, orangish glow.
I like that.
Cool. All right. She goes. This was a particularly tricky thing to solve. Getting one magical item, breaking it down and to its components, and figuring out how to keep the inherent magics into a different form of item. And she kind of like keeps talking and pointing out different things of like there's like a jewels on the bottom of the swords now, and she's like just tapping them like this is where the confluence of some of the blah 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 blah.
Karloff is nodding and just like yeah absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, the jewels are they're like red, but they have like black veins in
yes
them.
And eventually she's like describing them to you two swords, but Karloff is getting so into it she just turns the sword from you and is like describing all the cool shit to Karloff.
I'm just like
cool. All right, and she hands them to you. And
she can she have inscribed like in very like calligraphy their names?
Okay, yeah, definitely.
In the blade?
Yeah, in Comic Sans it says. Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, fine. So, Mistress Savakas meets you on sort of like a higher tower. Fisk is there as well. He thanks each and every one of you for saving his life. I hope that you don't meet your end down in the Avernus. I wish you the best of luck. I'm returning to Baldur's Gate to see that nothing else goes poorly there. I'll give a shout out. What's up to Saren when I return.
Oh, could you deliver these souvenirs to my brother and sister? And she pulls out the mugs that she got.
Certainly is and I assume you explain how to do that to them. Oh, did you buy my assumption is anything you guys get, Rhea gets, but I don't take your gold from you unless you guys want to get her special treats. So she now has the cloak and a magic weapon. She already had sort of a magical weapon, but now she has a real magical weapen.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
She started to show us like, look what I got in my cloak, and we'll just kind of like turn.
Boo!
At least your regular cloak that you're wearing.
It's like I wanted a. It's like all your faces are in the back of it, and you guys like this sucks.
Oh, it's like really bad tattoo quality portraits of us though.
Yes. Screen printed, and it's all scratchy. And then kind of being held by a handler or three are a griffin for each and every one of you.
Nice.
And she says, I wish you the best of luck to the next step of your quest, and I guess if Candlekeep gets brought into hell, we will know that you failed big time.
For sure.
A wizard named Traxigo. Did I read that part? Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, I did. Okay.
Yeah.
Lulu, that's right.
Tracks the goal.
Traxigor. Silvera ushers you to a crescent-shaped landing platform with a stunning view of the sea. Waiting for you atop this platform are several griffins with saddles. There are handlers standing nearby to help you. The griffins have instructions to fly you to Traxigor's tower, says Silvera. Don't worry, it's safe. So yeah, you're all ushered on top of your own griffins, and the griffins take flight and head out to sea. Flying just below the clouds, Candlekeep looks no less majestic from the air, but grows smaller as the griffins soar westward. Large rocky islands pass below you, and beyond them lies the open sea. After a long journey, you see a windowless, doorless stone tower, which somehow floats in the sky ahead. The griffins pass through jagged holes, riddling the tower's canonical peak, to land on the tower's top floor, which has a spiral staircase leading down.
Hold on. I named my griffin.
What's the griffin's name?
Dr. Squawk.
Dr. Squawk.
Dr. Spock, yeah.
Delicious.
I love it. That's delicious to me. Dr. Squawk lands inside the tower gently, gingerly. You two become friends over the long journey there. And you're able to get off, and you kind of get your stuff off of the towers, or off the griffin, patting their heads, and they squawk at you and fly back home. One level down from the area that you landed on, you see a cluttered chamber illuminated by various objects, upon which continual flame spells have been cast. Scurrying around the room is an otter, dressed in a tiny red cassock. The otter mumbles to itself in common, mentioning something about a tuning fork. Suddenly, it takes notice of you and stands up right. Lulu, wake up! Our guests have arrived! At the sound of her name, a small elephant with golden fur appears from under a pile of blankets near a table strewn with alchemical equipment. The elephant takes to the air on feathery wings and lets out a pleasing trumpet sound.
I don't know what... Oh, hold on.
What is happening
This
right
is too much
And this is
adorableness.
yes. This is where we're gonna.
I don't know
end,
which one to address
unfortunately.
first.
Yes, this is where.
Wait, there's an otter?
Yeah, there's an otter wearing like a little cassock, which is like a robe thing, and there's a flying baby elephant with golden fur and wings. And that's unfortunately where we're ending today.
Gnash, did you slip me some silver weed? Y'all seeing this too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my god. This is so precious.
Yeah, when I was preparing for this the other day, I was like, Otter Wizard. I love it.
Wait, he's the wizard?
Yes.
The otter is Troxigor?
Yes. Yeah. I love it. It makes me smile.
I roll to kiss them.
Kiss
On their
baby.
cute little heads.
Yeah. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. I will do the drawing for the Sirenscape thing. Sir Newt! I love wins. Consistent person wins. Congrats, Sir Newt. I know it's best not to keep to want someone to extremely win, but when someone does win that is consistently here, that makes me happy. So I will message you that on Fwicken. Can you send me a message or like DM me on Twitter or send me a message in Discord or wherever, and then I'll respond back to you with the code. Or I can just do it later, but I might forget. I don't know. This is a better way to make sure that it happens because I have a bad memory. So we'll be here next week, hopefully. Hopefully everyone's in their fighting shape. And next week, we're going to hell, baby! Yeah! Woo! And then we'll maybe do some retconny things with Justin, assuming his flu is gone. But, the flu sometimes settles in your system. Oh, I need to click announce, I think. So yeah, we will see you all next week, as always, at 2 p.m. on Tuesdays. Please, everyone, where can everyone find you online?
I'm at Josketh on everything. Kimga.
Hell yeah. You can find me at Kim Catties. That's at KYMCATTYS. If you want to hear more of my shrill screams, you can listen to me on Transformation Sequence, the Geekly Inc.'s anime podcast. Also on Love to Hate, which is starting a new season. It's me and my buddies talking about things we love, things we hate. And Wintercrest podcast, which is a real play Monster Hearts podcast, but we're a bit of we're on hiatus right now.
I am at the Pat Edwards. My website is thepatedwards.com. My first new newsletter will go out Friday, and there's some cool announcements in there, and also a short story that you can only get if you subscribe to that.
Yay.
Hell yeah.
So,
you can find me on Twitter at Tim Lanning, where I announce all the other cool, fun things we do. I'm also on a advice show called Dear Internet, which is very fun and we like it. And what else? Who's to say? Anyways, see you all next week. Thank you so much for joining the Happy Hell Hour, and we will see you soon. Bye!
bye.